Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing something that I believe will really help you in your personal growth journey. And today's topic is, who are you changing into, or who are you growing into? And there are things that you already know what you're turning and changing into, but I think there are other things as well that you may not realize that you're actually growing into, with all the changes that have been happening and all the effort that you've been putting in your personal growth. So in order to do this reading, we're actually going to do the piles by color, and it'll be my responsibility to lay out what they want to say in terms of your personal growth in your reading. So for pile number 1, we have yellow. For pile number 2, we have blue. For pile number 3, we have red. And for pile number 4, we have orange. Take a close look at which of these colors is really popping out, is really calling for you. And that's probably the pile for you here today. As usual, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, then believe me, there's always more for you to know. You'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. So you've chosen this beautiful card here that says algebra. It says mathematician Al-Khwarizmi laid the foundations of algebra, an abstract way to perform mathematics using symbols. We still learn algebra today. So the first thing I really see about you, the thing that stands out the most about how you've grown this last period of your life, is that you've become a more calculated person. So whereas you used to be very optimistic, and that's one of the great traits about you, by the way, it serves you in so many other ways, I see that you have balanced that out, where you still keep your optimism, but you approach life in a more calculated way now. I think you are undertaking planning as one of your tools towards what you want to pursue. So now, when you have a project pop up in your mind, when you get into a relationship, when you deal with other people, you still have that outgoing, energetic confidence to you about pursuing what you want. You still stay very positive, and you still say yes to opportunities. But now I see you have grown into someone who plans things better, who takes their time to think about it, to see whether what's needed to prepare for that. Is this actually a good idea, or is it in this case a bit too extreme? And so you've grown into this person who thinks things out, making you a much wiser person than you initially were, while keeping your positive demeanor that gives you this charismatic confidence that you display. So it's great that you haven't lost that, and it's great that you have been learning to understand life better and make better plans for yourself. So good job there, pile number 1. Really, it's a great thing to learn, and I'm happy you've undertaken this learning and incorporated into the way you do things in life. So good job there, pile number 1. Okay, so now this is really good, pile number 1. What I see you're growing into, pile number 1, is being a more committed person. While you could have been in the past sometimes committed, sometimes not, while things could have slipped off your hands, I see you're a much more stronger person. You plan for your life better, and you commit to the things that you want to do. You're very committed to your growth, by the way. That's very clear here. And at the same time, you no longer watch life go by, watch your dreams go by, and not do anything about it. you can physically see yourself growing into this person that actually commits to what they want to do. You're becoming more self-disciplined. You're becoming more responsible. And not only that, pile number one. So that's one big part of it that I see here. You're bossing up here, pile number one. Good job. I also see you being a person who collects more information before you pursue something. So while you usually trusted your intuition, which you deserve to trust because you are a highly intuitive person, you are now balancing this out again by using your intuition and using the right information to help you in whatever um, you're pursuing. So let's say, for example, you want to start a certain project. You would first take your time to educate yourself about what you need to do, how this is done, what are the legal consequences, for example. So you educate yourself in this area before you start pursuing and achieving that drive that is pushing you towards achieving it. So now I see a more mature person who has balanced their positivity and their confidence and their drive with being wise and educating themselves and planning things before they begin. So pile number one, good job there, really. Great work there. And this balance that you have between your creativity, your confidence, your drive, and your commitment is creating a unique person out of you, because most of the time people would sway one side and not the other. And I think here, instead of letting go of one persona and going into the next, you have learned to integrate your new learnings into what you believe is good about you and growing together as a person with these two. Good job, pile number one. Good job. Pile number one, another thing that is really growing about you is that you have dropped trying to be liked by other people, trying to fit in, trying to maybe be more approved by the society. I think you have grown to enjoy your company one way or the other. And see, the lamp is still there, so it's not like you've cut yourself off from the community altogether. They're still important to you. But I see a person here who's learned to, while they like being with people, they've learned to enjoy their solitude, because it was through this solitude, pile number one, that you've learned so much about you. You had the time to read more about your personal growth, read more about these maybe projects that you're trying to pursue, learn more about life and heal. And now you really value your time alone. That's definitely something that is becoming an integral part in your life. You're something that you're embracing and that you're enjoying. I see here you being enlightened, of course, in terms of not always seeking the approval of other people, not always seeing the growth that other people see, your own personal growth. And that has really put you in a very unique place. Again, uniqueness. You've learned to have your own thoughts here, not listen to other people's ideas unless they serve you. You've learned to take your own road, in fact. And while other people believe success or the right way to go is one way, you're definitely elevated yourself way higher above that, just by educating yourself better, listening to your intuition, and thinking for your own self rather than following the crowd. And that has taken you a long way up, pile number one. And it's one of your main growth, by the way, you enjoying your solitude to a great extent a lot of the time. I mean, no one wants to stay alone all the time, but you've learned to enjoy that because you've learned to get benefit out of that. And that's one of the things you're growing into, and you're not even realizing it maybe. But it's definitely serving you a lot. And this is not an advice to cut yourself off from people, of course not. But it's really telling you, that when you enjoy your own company, it's when you get this internal strength where you don't need most of the time anyone but yourself, and you release yourself from pain and attachments, and now you can enjoy the crowd in a more peaceful way. So kudos to you there, pile number one. Great, great, great job. Loving your personality here. Wow, 8 of Wands. Again, action taking. You've grown a lot. See, I see why. With the yellow here, I see you were a bubbly, happy person who was super creative. And now you're balancing this out by being an action taker. Not an action taker just in the beginning where all the excitement is. Now I see you've learned to take your projects that you start and finish it off. And that has been a result of you learning about self-discipline here. You've taught yourself to sit down and finish it until the end, because now with this card here I see that you have a lot of projects in mind, and now I see that you want to achieve all of them, and you've realized that the only way you can finally achieve these dreams that you have, you're such a creative person and you've had big dreams, and a lot of these dreams passed by, and now you've realized that no, you don't want these dreams to pass you by anymore. You have this citrine energy to you. It might even be a great stone for you these days. You've learned to take action. You've learned to plan properly for it, sit down until it's done, and now you're in a phase where you're starting to watch things actually happen bit by bit. So that's some great change happening there for you, pile number one. Believe me, you're learning one of life's great lessons there. You're stepping into something powerful. And it's only when you learn self-discipline, how to discipline yourself to do what needs to get done, whether you feel like it or not, is when you succeed and move in life. So kudos to you, pile number one. This is totally what I see here for you with the 8 of Wands. A lot of action taking, a lot of commitment, a lot of self-growth here in yourself, pile number one. So pile number one, what I see has really obviously changed about you is that day by day you're kind of earthing your dreams. So these days you can I don't think it's the right thing to label ourselves with our successes at all. That's not healthy at all. But I think what is changing about you is you're slowly slowly changing your position in life. You're starting to earth your dreams and wishes, actually, and you're seeing that happen. You're starting to have great ideas, you're starting to take action on them, and you're starting to feel like you're growing into a person who you once dreamed of becoming, pile number one. And so one of the great things that has truly changed about you is you being proud of who you are. You seeing yourself as your own star, actually. You having so much faith in yourself, knowing that whatever you dream, you are going to achieve. And that's why your solitude is becoming even better now, because you're up to so many amazing things that really excite you. And whether this is about personal growth, finding the right information that gives you hope to grow into a better person, whether this is about an actual project that you're working on, or a relationship that you've worked so hard to manifest, and worked on your communication skills with this person, and worked on how to have a better relationship, whatever it was, you have definitely worked very hard to create this new stable way of being, even though it's full of action, but it gives you great stability. And you now see yourself, pile number one, as a person who can achieve their dreams. So pile number one, it was really an honor doing this reading for you. I am so proud of you. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So you've chosen this beautiful blue card. It says human flight, and you can see someone flying here. History has it that Abbas ibn Firnas was the first man to fly using glider wings. So this was during the 9th century. It was a unique idea, and power jet flight is more common than gliding today. Okay, so what I see here straight away for you, pile number 2, is that you have grown into someone that liberates and frees themselves from emotional attachment. I think in the past you used to hold the people who you loved very dear. You used to give them a lot of trials, and you used to stick around for a very long time, but that caused you to be stuck just waiting for them to give you the same equal amount of love and respect and honor you the way you did. And you've learned over time that not everyone has the same ethical standards as you and would value you the way you valued them. And you've learned to move away and walk away from people who did not respect you or give you the same amount of love just like you have. Whether these are friends, love partners, or even family. Sometimes family is not always there for us, right? So sometimes we're very lucky and blessed to have amazing and wonderful families, and sometimes we're not. And I think you're freeing yourself now. You're untying yourself from ideas of maybe wanting to stick around for certain reasons, giving people a lot of excuses and giving them a lot of being too understanding maybe. And I see you're growing into a person who liberates themselves, who puts themselves first above everything. And that means putting your self-respect above everything. You're still willing to deeply love. That is never going to change about you. You're a very loving person. You still value love, but you value your self-respect first. And that's something that you're definitely growing into, that I can see very clearly from your cards, pile number 2. It took you a lot of pain, a lot of life experiences in order for you to reach that great decision there. And it says human flight. I mean, you really have left the people who did not serve you well, who did not respect you, or who were toxic, even though they displayed positivity sometimes. But now you know better, and you're only keeping the people who respect you now. So that's great growth right there, pile number 2. Kudos to you. Oh, there's a match here. Well, seems everyone was cheering for you. So you have the moon here, pile number 2. And what I see straight away with the moon is that you are starting to learn your intuition in terms of red flags, pile number 2. You might have trusted the people that you loved a lot. You might have like we said, understood a lot of their actions because you are a good person, it seems. Have a lot of water here. You have high intuition. It seems like you're someone who feels for people and highly empathetic. So kudos to you. There aren't a lot of you. Thank you for being around. My God, thank you. But at the same time, you had to balance that, pile number 2. You had to learn not to be too trusting, because not everyone is as good as you are. What you didn't imagine you would do, others would do, pile number 2. And now you've learned that. It was a great lesson. So now, believe me, you're a person who's highly intuitive, being an empath already. But you used to ignore these feelings that you used to get because you believed what other people told you, assuming that they were as honest as you were, right? I think now, after going through these experiences, you have learned to trust your intuition. And that's something huge that is changing about you. You've learned that if you feel that something is wrong, then most probably something is wrong. And while you don't need to straight away act on it, you can wait. But you definitely have a mental note that something is not right. And by time you start collecting these notes and seeing, does this feel overall wrong? No, I'm not comfortable with this. Or was it just a one-time thing that didn't feel right and it was okay? So now you're starting to have this balance again between your emotions and trusting your intuition when it feels wrong, and standing up for yourself, putting yourself first, literally leaving when people are not respecting you. Pile number 2. You really seem like a wonderful person at heart, and with all this empathetic nature, you remind me of the strong empath and not the weak empath. I have just seen a psychological video a while ago. A psychologist was explaining the difference between an empath and a strong empath. They're completely different. Both of them have empathetic feelings towards other people, but one of them is strong, is ready to leave when it's not serving them, is ready to stand up for themselves when it's not right. You would see a very kind person suddenly stand up and say, no, I don't accept that. Well, most people wouldn't expect you to do that. So you're definitely were a strong empath and stepping into your power here, because you weren't ever weak. You just didn't know that you couldn't trust the people around you. And now that you're well informed of this area, you're stepping into your power as a strong empath. So kudos to you, pile number 2. Great job there. Great job, sweetheart. Great job. I'm loving you already. Okay, so now let's get on with the reading and see, who are you growing into? I see a card popping up. Let's take that, and actually let's take that. I'm feeling both of them. So pile number 2, you have the 7 of Cups here. You're becoming a decisive person. And wow, now that's a great combination. That's why they came together. Okay. So there's a lot of Libra energy here. You might have Libra energy, Libra in some placement in your birth chart or not. All in all, whether you do or not, pile number 2, you might have been a little hesitant in the past, because when you are a little bit in your emotions, you're very highly intuitive person, and you sometimes go too much by the feels, confusing you a little bit. And it's only when you balance this strong intuition with your mental capabilities, it is then when you make the best decision. And now I see you growing into someone who's becoming very decisive, and in fact, not just decisive, someone who uses their intuition and their analytical skills now to make the right decision, and now it comes out amazing. It's a decision that helps you grow. You are now able to pick the right thing for you, because you're not only listening to your intuition now, you're now educating yourself, thinking about it rationally as well as your intuition, and you're able to make the right decision straight away. But not only that, pile number 2, I see you as a person now who's surprising everyone with a lot of self-love. And don't get me wrong, not that anyone didn't see you had self-love at all. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're starting to choose yourself now first. And that is what's surprising everyone. They, of course, knew that you had a lot of self-love towards you, but they always saw you choosing what's best for other people before yourself. And now people are being more and more surprised seeing you pick yourself first, putting yourself first before everyone else. And you still have that kind, empathetic nature towards you, where you help everyone, you're kind to everyone, but you make sure that you are kind to yourself first. You have stronger boundaries now. You make sure that you give what you need for yourself in terms of time, in terms of love, in terms of respect, in terms of what you need to do for your life. So that comes first, and then you you continue to give others just the way you were. So people are starting to hear different sentences that they haven't heard before from you. So if they want you to help them out do something, they can hear you now saying, listen, I would love to help you out, I would love to hang out, but I have to finish this, and it's very important to me, and I have to finish this before we hang out. And if you see people trying to manipulate you like before, oh, come on, don't you want to go out? Come on, it's not that important. Or, come on, I mean, you can still do both, yada, 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 not giving much respect to what you need to do. I still hear you standing firmly saying, I'm so sorry. I still think this is important for me to do. I know, of course, that you don't understand how hard this is for me, but I'm very sorry. I would love to see you tomorrow. I love hanging out with you, but I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to stay and finish this. And people see this persistency in you still choosing yourself first, and they're starting to notice it, and they're starting to give you that respect because you're giving it to yourself. Pile number 2. You're really growing into an amazing person, pile number 2. You really deserve this term, a strong empath. Kudos to you, pile number 2. Kudos to you. All right, so let's see how else you're growing. Hey, if you are a strong empath, please put a moon emoji down in the comment section below so I can identify you straight away and we can high five together. Okay, so let's see there. Pile number 2. Sorry, maybe you want to watch 3. Ooh, 7 of Pentacles. Now this is an interesting card to come, and again, in combination to that, I see something really nice. So now, pile number 2, that you are focusing on yourself. I see you are growing up in so many ways. Maybe you're starting to focus on something that you always wanted to finish, whether this is your education or a project that you want to work on, or something that has been on hold maybe for a while, and I see you popping up and starting to work on it, and you're now pretty proud of yourself because you're watching it grow. So I wonder what that is, pile number 2. It seems that you're quietly watching this. You're super proud of yourself internally, and you don't want to smile just yet. But you're pretty proud of yourself that it's growing. And to be quite frank with you, I actually see you growing in so many areas. And overall, it's showing you that you are growing. So it might be maybe your personal growth, maybe you're working on a healthier diet, and at the same time working on other goals that you wanted to achieve, like walking every day, like starting, maybe finishing up your studies, or maybe, like we said, starting up a project. I think you are slowly and behind the scenes, you're kind of like changing a lot of things about your life bit by bit, and you're really enjoying seeing a little bit of this fruit, and you know there's more to come. A great part of this reform that you're making is maybe holding off from being in a relationship until you have found the right person. So that's part of the growth that you're watching. You're actually watching yourself wait until you are with the right person, and not just with someone that you like, but someone who deserves you, that you like at the same time. Pile number 2. Okay, so let's pick out your last card here. Ooh, you have the 6 of Swords. So pile number 3, one thing that is truly changing about you is your demeanor. It's becoming slower. While sometimes in the past you used to react in a more emotional way because you couldn't believe the toxicity that the people around you displayed, and maybe it brought you a lot of anger, it triggered you a lot, and it made you react in a big way. That's because of your shock there by what people used to do. And you being an empath here, you're just shocked that people would lie and gaslight and manipulate this way. I see you here. One of the things that are truly changing about you, pile number 2, is your calmer demeanor. You are not easily as triggered. You now have grown into understanding that not everyone is a good person. You understand that, and you've learned to stay quiet, to remove the people who are toxic instead of fighting with them and trying to change them, and not being as much triggered. I think you're calmer now, and you don't care if the people around you don't see your point of view, if they're being toxic, and you just walk away. You let it be. You don't spend your valuable time with these sort of people anymore. You would rather live in peace. You've cut away a lot of these people, by the way. You've moved away from them, and now you see toxicity. You see people who gaslight or manipulate. You know they're not for you. You don't waste your time with anger. You understand that you only want to be surrounded, at least in your inner circle, with positive people who are honest, because you're an empath, who greatly value you as you value them. So pile number 2, that was your reading. That is how you have grown. Kudos to you, my strong empath. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you've chosen this beautiful card here. But before we read it, I am actually getting something very strong here about what you're changing into. With the color red, I see alert. I also see ripeness. So I think you're becoming a person who's ready to conquer life and has become ripe because of what we're going to analyze in this card in a moment. So putting these two together. So I see alertness. I see someone being ready for life. Let's take a look at why here. So your card says medical encyclopedia. The first known alphabetical medical encyclopedia is the Book of Water, written by Al-Azdi and recently published in Oman. Now we have a huge range of accessible medical information. So the Book of Water, this really reminds me of flexibility. This is what water clearly reminds me of. So I see you're becoming a person who does not break now. You're becoming a person who's very flexible, who's learned to maneuver through life. And with the alert that we talked about, the ripeness, this reminds me of entrepreneurial, boss-like energy. They always say it's the people who always get back up, spring back up after something has been lost or some sadness has happened. They spring back up after they've cried it over, and they are ready to find a solution, take the feedback, and go forwards. So you're growing into a person, pile number 3, that does not break. This red shows me that you're ripe, you're ready for life, you're ready for success, you're ready to go and reap the fruits of this efforts that you put in, because you've become a strong person. And 1-1 with the 11th century here. This really shows me that it's a new beginning here for you, pile number 3. You're really becoming a strong person that is ready to conquer life, that is not going to break. So kudos to you there, pile number 3. What great strength. And to reach that conclusion, to reach that, to reach this power, there must have been a lot of perseverance. There must have been a lot of thinking involved with this. There must have been a lot of, I'm going to make it, I'm not going to break. And now, instead of spending a lot of time in the low, you have learned to cry it out and spring back up. So good job there, pile number 3. You're growing into this that's one life skill that is very rare, but it's what makes the successful people who they are. It's what makes the strong people who they are, springing back up. So good job there, pile number 3. Ooh, you have the devil there. So to be quite frank with you here, pile number 3, I see here that you're changing into someone who's more savvy in the world. you're understanding how the world works, and while you're still a good person with the water here on the inside, you're always going to have this honest, a good person in the inside. But you've learned to maneuver through life. You've learned how communication is like, what to do when people manipulate you, what to do when you're gaslighted, what to do with this, what to do with that. And you've changed your style and your communication where you are true to yourself with your honesty, but at the same time not letting anyone play with you. So that's some very strong powers there that you're creating. Power pile number 3. You're no longer someone who believes people for what they're saying. You're not gullible. You're not someone who lets people play with their emotions or play with their mind. And you now know the tactics. You've learned it by time. You've learned the tactics to survive with the people, because especially maybe in business or with dishonest people, and it seems like you have to constantly deal with these types of people who gaslight and manipulate and are selfish and are still with very low vibrational energy, that haven't still matured. And while you've treated them with a lot of maturity, see a lot of education there, a lot of maturity, a lot of honesty, and a lot of good manners, it didn't work. And I see you here being a person who had to learn these skills to deal with some sort of people around them. You're not too happy about it, but at the same time you do it in your honest way, and you're just doing it to protect yourself. You're not angry from the inside. You're positive, and you do not mean to harm anyone ever with it. You just use it as a boundary setting skill to make sure that no one plays you, no one tries to sell you anything in a dishonest way maybe, or try to get into a relationship with you and fool you, etc., etc., etc. So it's more of a protective tactic than anything else. You're still that pure. See, with water there's purity. You're still that pure soul, that good person. You just have learned to cheekily deal with the outside world this way if they're not too straightforward like you would want them to be. Pile number 3. Okay, so now let's see what else you have here. 7 of Pentacles. So it's no surprise that we got this boss energy from the beginning. What I see here for you, pile number 3, is that you are starting to work on a project there. Maybe it's a new project. Maybe you've tried to do something in the past over and over and it didn't work. And I see you starting to work on something that is actually working now. And that was due to a lot of trials and errors. Again, with the flexibility here. You never gave up. And it was because of your perseverance, trying over and over, maybe different project, maybe the same project over and over. With the amounts of trials that you put in, you're finally hooking up something. It's starting to work and you're like, whoa, wait, it's working. So in one area or the other in your life, you are starting to succeed in something that didn't come out of the blue. It came out of years of you trying to make something successful. So good job there, pile number 3. I would love to know in the comment section, if you want to share, what is it that you're working on now? And I wish you all the best of luck in that, pile number 3. Good job. You're a person who should be called perseverance. You persevere through life, and that's why you've grown this much today. Pile number 3. Ace of Swords. So here I see you have also gained a lot of knowledge in your field. That's one of the things you're growing into, pile number 3. Now that one is really specific here. I see that over the years you have worked very hard on your craft, maybe in your job. This is coming out very strong. And you've grown into someone who has a lot of information about what they're doing. You've educated yourself a lot. You have a lot of skills now, and you're very proud of that effort. I think, in fact, I see you as being pretty unique. See, Ace of Swords. Pretty unique in that industry you're in. It's the first time for me to see a raven here in this card. Do you see it? And it's even in the dark. It's like pile number 3, you kind of have some secret creative ideas along with secret knowledge in your maybe industry that are at the back of your mind that you know is going to put you somewhere very special very soon. Pile number 3. So again, good luck with that little secret that you have there. So yeah, you've educated yourself a lot in your field specifically. It means a lot to you, your job obviously, and with the amount of readings and trial and error and you doing things with your own hands and trying them out and writing them and adjusting them over time, you've become very skilled in this area. And not just skilled, you're actually collected a lot of ideas and a lot of smart ways to do things and fulfill things, and you are ready to maybe launch something that is going to be quite unique or show something in your project in a unique way. Something here is brewing up that is very unique, that only you know how to do it, and that has come after years of work. You see people cheering. It's like people cheering up for you. It seems like you have a great idea there, so all the best of luck. It seems like you've come a long way there in terms of your growth and your work, pile number 3. So good job there. Let's see what else has changed about you, pile number 3. Oh, you have the 6 of Cups there. So pile number 3, another thing that has truly changed about you here is that instead of having a lot of friends who might have maybe been immature, you're now choosing to have fewer friends, but ones that really match your life. You're going with quality over quantity in terms of relationships. You've reassessed what relationships should be like in terms of love, in terms of friendships, in terms again of family, in terms of whatever connection you're going to be with. And you are now realizing, and you've been working a lot on this, that it's better for you to have a few that you grow up with and go a long way with, that you're going to stick there for each other when needed. Both of you will listen to each other. Both of you genuinely care about each other and are loyal to each other. Instead of having so many friends that, or so many people around you that may not be immature. And I see why here. With the Devil card, we did mention in the beginning that you could have been surrounded by a lot of immature people that you've learned a lot how to deal with now, but they're there in your environment, and you've learned that you are quite unique and different, and you're maybe an old soul who has this internal wisdom to them and a very sharp, smart person, and now you're looking for your tribe. One of the things that really has grown about you is that you don't look at the facade of things when it comes to people. You don't look at your popularity anymore, maybe. You don't look at the benefits that these friends are going to get you, or the fun outings, maybe, whatever reason it was. You now look for deeper things when it comes to friends. Are they going to be there for you? Are they going to listen to you just like as you listen to them? Are they going to respect you just like you respect them? And it's now not about where they work, where they go to, how they look like, who they are, their age. It doesn't matter. Now to you, you would only be with people who have a mature soul and a mature personality, a mature mind, just like you, where you would really truly enjoy your time with, even if you're not speaking at all. Their presence makes you happy, and you have cut down all these people into a few that mean a lot to you, and you're sticking to that idea now. You're not indulging with other people who are not mature anymore. You only keep close those that know how to respect you and know how to be honest and have the same ethical standards as you. And ethical standards comes here very strong, because with the devil here, it seems like you have dealt with a lot of people that weren't honest. Pile number 3. So great job there. You're making your area, your space, a much better space where you can rest, and you can enjoy your social circle better. Pile number 3, as you focus on what is important. That's a great job there, pile number 3. What a nice balance you're creating. Ooh, you have the star. So pile number 3, of course, I'm not surprised you'd have a star in your reading here, being the flexible person that you are, and me mentioning from the very beginning that I feel boss-like energy to you, a go-getter, a CEO kind of vibe. You are definitely a person who's meant to reach for the stars, who has big goals, and will try over and over and over, my friend, until you make them come true. And so now I think you're starting to see your dreams much, much closer than they ever have been before, because of all these trials and skills that you have gone through and learned and put effort into. And now you kind of see that you're at the stage of your life where you kind of feel, I can make these dreams come true. So all the best of luck with that, pile number 3. It seems like day by day, with your mind and your efforts, you're getting closer to everything that you dreamed of. You're not a person who's shut down. In fact, there were people clapping at you a while ago. So it might seem that you are going to become very popular one day with what you're doing, and you're going to reach to the stars there, pile number 3. So all the best of luck with whatever you're pursuing. I have truly admired your personality. Thank you for coming and checking out my channel and watching my video. I truly appreciate you. So all the best of luck, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 4. So you've chosen this beautiful orange card here, and it says citrus fruit. New crops like oranges, peaches, and rice spread across the Muslim world as far as southern Spain. It says oranges are still an important product in Spain. So here is the thing, pile number 4, that I see straight away with you, is that out of the 4 piles, and I'm not comparing here, but out of the 4 piles, you had a set of wishes about who you wanted to be, clear set of vision of who you wanted to be, and you have worked so hard on yourself that now you're nearly ripe to be picked, meaning you are nearly that product that you have worked so hard on. I see you worked on so many areas in your life that were very important to you. Maybe your health, maybe your work, maybe your personality and your strength and your character, your interests, your knowledge. You have been through it all, pile number 4. So kudos to you. I have a lot of respect towards you. And again, with growing fruits, I see you have a growth mindset. This is why, out of the 4 piles, you're the one who's growing in so many areas, ripening into that fruit that you want exactly. Pile number 1. In fact, you would see here it says, spread across the Muslim world as far as southern Spain. And that's a long way. And so you've spread out in so many different areas that you wanted to grow, which I'm sure we're going to discuss and discover right now. But you've worked in so many areas and you have grown a lot, and you're starting to become that person that you always wanted to be. And in fact, I just heard in a podcast a while ago someone saying, everyone keeps saying, be yourself, be yourself. When in fact, that's the wrong statement to make, because sometimes our people are born into environments and they get genetics and they get parents and they get an environment that is not very lucky, making them turn into someone they may not want to be, right? So instead of saying be yourself, you should say become yourself. Become who you believe you are on the inside. And I see you embodying this idea completely, refusing to accept. I mean, you accept yourself, that's why you grow, but I mean, refusing to accept that this is it. And you've taken on a journey to becoming exactly who you believe you should be. Pile number 4. So great. Whoa, we're going to take them. So great job there. Pile number 4. Did I say 3? 4. Okay. Wow, you have the King of Swords. Let's take them one by one. Actually, let's open them first. Why not? And talk about, they're meant to come together, right? So let's respect that. Okay. So pile number 4 with the King of Swords here. I see you have, that's why they came together. I see you have matured in so many ways. First of all, I see you have matured in terms of your character, who you are as a person. I see you've worked a lot on finding the right wise ideas on different areas of your life, getting the right information that helped you pursue what you wanted to become. So you've learned a lot of, you didn't just get any information that you read. You made sure you find the right information that would help you in your journey, and you taken this information to heart and you started applying them, because the King of Swords is all about routine and self-discipline. So you've taken the time to learn, let me take out the noise, about every single thing that you wanted to change in life. So for example, you wanted to learn how to pursue a certain career, you'd go online, see how you could pursue it, what you need to learn, how to go through the interviews, how to finish the applications, what to read. You have educated yourself. If you want to maybe improve your skin, you have tried to get the best information on how to do that, and so on and so forth. You're always after the right information, and that was one of the things that really helped you grow into this person that you are today. Constantly going after the right information, double checking them, making sure that they make sense, trying them out for yourself, seeing what other people are saying about this information, doing your research properly as best as you can. And it is this amount of research and work that you have put that really changed who you are today. It's the reason where you are today is because you put in the work, you put in day and night time for reading, for researching, for watching videos maybe, until you have, with the King of Swords here, gotten far ahead from most people around you, to make sure that you reach your goals properly. And if people are wondering today, whoa, how did pile number 4 become that person? You're almost unrecognizable in terms of everything, your job or your life or what you're doing. I don't know what you're up to here, but I know that the people around you are looking and saying in their heads, wow, how did pile number 4 change like that? And that was due to religiously reading about what you want and educating yourself about it every single day until you've become that person that you are proud of. Pile number 4. Now, one of the core things, and this is pretty unique here, that is changing about you, pile number 4, is your understanding of finances. You're really growing wiser here, pile number 4. While you may have not been very careful with your money in the past, I think you're now learning to become wiser. You're learning to save and not spend everything. You're learning to maybe invest, learning to be careful in general, and you take care of your money and your financial responsibilities in a more responsible way. And you've really grown in this area. You might be even starting to save up, or you have the idea of saving up. You're starting to let go of all the things that you want to buy now and become a more financially stable person. And that entails a lot of saving, a lot of making better decisions. So while in the past where you were a bit more sporadic about what you wanted to get and getting it straight away, I see you're now becoming a person who takes care of themselves and their finances and their resources in general in a better way, and you put them in the right places that would help you grow. And that's why your finances turned up in this reading. So you're growing into a wiser person who knows how to deal with money better, and you are putting it in the right places that would give you the results, this fruit that you have in your head about yourself. And you're learning to let go of things that are not important at the moment, that are not serving you. They're still there as an idea, because you know that once you grow, you're going to get everything that you ever wanted, but it doesn't need to be necessarily now. And you're waiting to build that wealth that you have in your mind. So that's an important point for you here, pile number 4, that you're growing into black here. This girl wearing black, I see someone being more responsible, stronger, more self-disciplined on what to do with their finances and how to go about them for the future. Delaying gratification is exactly what I'm seeing here, pile number 4. So with the 3 of Pentacles, you are, I'm not surprised, of course, with someone who wants to see. You're the only pile who had, we can see different things growing about them in all areas here. You're growing here as well in terms of your work. So your work, pile number 4, is very important to you. It's your passion, in fact, just like the passion fruit. It's your passion. That's not the passion fruit. I know, I'm just saying. I remember the passion fruit. So your work is very important to you. And I see here that you have put a lot of details in your work over the years in terms of learning about it, planning for it, trying over and over again, working non-stop on it. And I think that this is a time, as you watch this reading, where you finally started something again that is starting to work for you. Finally, you're starting something, pile number 4, that has either started to get you money or has a lot of potential to start getting you money. So great job there, pile number 4. Great job. So that's one of the things you've grown into, and believe me, we can't just say that this happened out of the blue for you. We're talking about a reading that talks about what has changed about you, how you're growing and how you've grown. And with all the threads going down here, I see that this is a result of you working religiously every day, and failing and coming back to try, getting feedback from other people. Maybe you've gotten some help, but you were on top of your work. It's like, hey, my work is super important to me. I'm gonna try every day. I have a vision. I believe in quality, and I'm gonna be on top of this until I make something amazing. So you have a strong vision there about what you want to achieve, pile number 4. You want to achieve something pretty different and unique in the world. You don't want to present just anything. You want to present something in a very unique way that is very attractive to other people to pick up or listen to or watch, whatever it is. And you've been working over and over tirelessly trying to achieve this, either by learning more about it, educating yourself more about it here, getting ideas from other people, getting guidance from other people, maybe learning what the best have done, and you putting in the effort. And in the beginning, this effort might not, at some points, might have frustrated you, might have made you feel, hey, am I like dreaming big? Will this really take me somewhere? And I think you're at the point now where you're like, no, it is going to take me somewhere. It is working fine. Finally, it's starting to have a shape and a form. And you're pretty proud of this now, pile number 4. So you're just starting to see the fruit of this intense labor that you've put in with so much effort and love and probably money here, as we discussed, in this love project that you have. So all the best of luck on that, pile number 4. I truly hope you achieve success, because it seems like it's dear to your heart. And one day, pile number 4, this beautiful project that you're working on is going to taste like a beautiful fruit that you've planted, and now you're tasting and really loving and enjoying, pile number 4. I know this is going to happen for you. Oh, we have 4 of Swords here. So pile number 4, this is a card in your reading that is discussing your relationship with other people. Look, I mean, the amount of things that you have changed here is unbelievable. In this card, I see that there are a lot of people that you have called home, that you've nested with, whether these are family, friends. I don't know what's up with this idea. It came up several times in this reading, but it is what it is, right? And maybe it's part of growing up. That's why it's appearing in this specific reading. So there's a lot of people that you've trusted, pile number 4. A lot of people that you believed were home. These could be family, friends, relationships. And I see you growing into a person who now understands that not everyone who you might think is family or home is actually home. I see you here delaying nesting, meaning delaying trusting people too quickly, delaying having too much faith into people, because there are claws here. So you have learned from these experiences how to deal with people now, how to test them, how to see if they maybe respect you, if they're people you can trust. And now I see you going through a lot of tests. And I don't mean tests in a cheeky way. I mean real tests. Like, before you can trust someone, you start seeing if they would be there for you when you need them, just like you are here. Because with the King of Swords, I see a lot of honesty. Before you let them in, you're going to see, do they respect you? You look at the unconscious things that they don't take care of, because you really know a good person by the little things they're not noticing, not by the little things that they're noticing and doing, like being nice to the waiter, for example. No, you're watching little looks, little sounds, how they sound like when they're talking to someone, little things that they do that might give off selfish vibes unconsciously without them necessarily meaning to show it to you. So you test by looking at messages, how they did it, when did they do it. And that's not overthinking here. This is different. You're not attached to someone or to people and waiting for them to treat you right. You're doing the opposite. You're looking out for clear signs in the beginning to see, does this person treat you right? It's not about, do they like me or not? No, it's about, are they treating you the way you believe you should be treated? And after having talked to them, do they take your feedback to heart and start making sure that they treat you with respect, because you're treating them with respect as well, with your high ethical standards here. So you've grown a lot in this area. You now make sure you don't nest with anyone, friends, family, colleagues, you name it. By nesting here means trusting. Before you make sure that they vibe this in the same honest vibes as you, that they truly respect you, and you've taken these toxic experiences that you've been through, or the backstabs and everything that you've been through, to heart. You've now learned from them, and you've learned to maneuver through life in a much more wise way, in a more mature, grown-up way. You understand how life functions now, and you are much better as a social person as you were in the past. You understand now that not everyone's going to be a good person. You're absolutely okay with that. You make friends, but at the same time, you have a limit to who enters your life. You're very specific about that, very specific about who you're going to create strong connections with, and you've learned to be comfortable in your surrounding in general, even with the people around you, knowing that they may not be honest, the outside people. You've learned to have fun, laugh, enjoy your time, and keep it there and leave. Your home is where you believe your standards and ethical things that you believe in are. So, pile number 4, I have truly, truly enjoyed your reading. You are such a unique person here, growing in so many different areas in life, whether it's your social life or your looks or your health, obviously, or your job or your finances. Such multi-talented person who works in different areas because they want to see themselves as the best, just like they have in their minds. So kudos to you, pile number 4. That was your reading. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!